The Israeli government and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire after 11 days of fighting. This video is not going to be a speculation over who won, as I believe every minute Hamas rules in the Gaza Strip is a lose-lose situation. I'm also not going to elaborate on Hamas, as I imagine most viewers of this channel know of their inherent malignity and don't need explaining why a terrorist organization is bad. So firstly, I'd like to address a couple of points regarding the fighting. It's estimated that dozens of people have lost their lives and over 150 Hamas terrorists were killed. Terrorists aside, that is unbelievably sad, and my heart goes out to all of the families suffering from loss. It is important to note that Hamas have an interest in inflating civilian death toll and deflating that of the militants. Perhaps more importantly, let me lay down the three main possible causes of civilian death. So firstly, you have direct and precise attacks on Hamas militants by the IDF. Secondly, you have building takedowns after alerting civilians of imminent bombings by the IDF. Thirdly, you have rocket misfires by Hamas, who station their launchers amongst civilians in densely populated areas. This past round has seen a misfire rate of 1 in 7, which equates to about roughly 700 rockets fired at their own people. I'm going to leave that for you to digest and deduce. Now, the second thing I'd like to address is the horrifying rise in anti-Semitism and blatant anti-Semitism around the world. Now, this is not new to us. We represent 0.2% of the world's population, yet throughout history we have constantly found ourselves on the wrong side of an obsessive, vicious campaign of lies. Perhaps the greatest tragedy of it all is how anti-Semitism masks itself as social justice. Whether it's anti-capitalist, anti-Hebrew, anti-globalist, or anti-Zionist. It is a vicious virus that simply transforms into whatever a given political movement hates the most. Now, that being said, I do in fact believe there are anti-Zionists who aren't anti-Semites. They have simply been misled or are ill-informed. But I do hope the past few days have shown most people that anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are synonymous, and even if they have not gone that far, that they are at least highly correlated. It's as if who knew advocating for the destruction of the Jewish state would lead to increased hatred towards Jews. Now, I'm going to briefly touch upon the online disinformation campaign that's out there, whether it's the famous infographic of the 4 maps of Palestine side by side showing the depletion of land, which relies on the underlying assumption that Palestine was at any point in given time a sovereign state, which it wasn't, and therefore can be completely disregarded, or whether it's a picture of a coin from 1927 that has the word Palestine on it, with complete disregard to the fact that it also has the abbreviation State of Israel. So, I'm not going to get into that. What I am going to say is, as with most things, question everything you see. There is a lot of BS out there. Now, finally, I'm going to leave you with a thought experiment. So let's go by the logic that all the Arabs around the world who have descendants who lived in Palestine under British rule are Palestinians. Where are they most happy? Is it Lebanon? No, they have no rights there. Is it Syria? No, it isn't there either. Is it Jordan? Nope. Iraq? Nope. Saudi Arabia? Nope. What about Western democracies? Well, it does seem that they are somewhat happier in Western democracies. But where are they happiest? It is in fact in Israel, where they have equal rights and the vast majority of them want to live here peacefully. So you have to ask yourselves, is it Israel that is responsible for the suffering of Palestinians around the world? Or is it the Arab-ruled countries who rejected them and continue to do so to this day, despite the fact that they are their Muslim brothers and sisters?